let's assess the timing that US is going to probably see a change in leadership. So what has happened with the Russia visit, that it has irked them for obvious reasons. So this is, you think that this is an attempt by Prime Minister Modi, if it happens, to placate the West and just like, maintain that equilibrium phase that it always wants to maintain
What?
between
You're saying the statement was
No.
away or the visit
the
itself?
visit. No, I'm saying if this visit happens to
Oh, the
Ukraine.
Ukraine visit.
Right, yeah. So,
Interesting. If the Ukraine visit happens, it might not just be to placate the West, but it could be where they're steering the conversation. If you see Americans, they have always, now they've started saying that if this is what you want to do, then play the role of a mediator, then become the peacemaker. So we
Right.
don't know what Prime Minister Modi's messaging would be over there. It certainly will be come to the negotiating table. Now, at the negotiating table, Anna, things have now changed. It's no longer, Ukraine does not have that diplomatic space today to say Russia should move back, because Russia is not going to move back. So, what's the give and take that's going to really happen for Ukraine to be able to continue not just that their sovereignty is honored, but continue being able to be independent, that their territorial integrity is honored, whatever the area that's left.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that they should confine themselves south of the Dnieper, which is what a lot of people say. For those who don't understand, Ukraine has a major river, the Dnieper River, and the east side of south and east side of the Dnieper is where the Russians, because Russia's on this side, have already taken. It's the north and the west that still is not completely under Russian control, and that's where Ukraine is. So they're saying that in all probability this Dnieper will become a natural boundary, which would be unacceptable to Ukraine.
Yeah.
But then what's the deal over here? How far is Ukraine going to go and willing to negotiate? Now, people will say, why are you even saying that? It makes no sense. It's their land. The Russians are sitting on it. They should just move back. But practically speaking right now, Russia is not going to do that. In fact, Crimea, which they have made their own, Donetsk, Luhansk, the areas which were considered independent territories because they sought independence from Ukraine and did not want to be a part of Ukraine. So all the anti-Ukraine forces supported by Russia managed to have this entire space, right? Yeah. And it's within Donetsk only that you have Mariupol. But those areas were not under Russian control. So Donetsk also, the Donbas region, it's part of the Donbas region. Yeah. So the Donbas region, parts of it were still under Ukrainian control, and Mariupol was the bordering port city, which was still there. And so when Russia decided that now we will hold a referendum and take this and let them decide whether they want to be part of Russia or not. And they became part of Russia.
Russia only, yeah.
So now, with them having declared that these are parts of Russian territory, the negotiation will have to happen on whether Ukraine will recognize that or not.
Right, yeah.
In all probability, if Ukraine is willing to recognize that, then we'll see whether if Russia is willing to, then, move back.
Move back, yeah.
At least till the Donbas region. But then you have Zaporizhia, which has a nuclear plant.
Yeah.
Will they move out of Zaporizhia nuclear power plant?
Right.
So there are a lot of questions.
Yeah.
At the most, what Prime Minister Modi can do over there is go as a peacemaker, say that, well, it is time that you sit behind a table rather than behind the tank or a gun or any such weapon, because that's not really, finding solutions to the problem that exists.
Yeah, I mean, it's already been suggesting that if Prime Minister goes, then it will serve the global good, if he could actually find
I think they would the West would want him to go and engage Ukraine like he did Russia.
But I mean,
just to show that, okay, he's not sided completely with Russia.
right.
But, you know,
But that's what I'm saying, that, okay, it's been 2 years since
Hmm.
the war. You got multiple chances, right? I mean, there was G20 where there was a joint statement, but you know how it panned out. And there was no solution. I mean, India, one of the fence sitters, one of the neutral countries in the
but there is
entire
a reason
war,
why Putin was not attending and is not attending these multilateral fora.
we know that. Yes, we have discussed that. But I'm saying that now what? Like, what more can India offer? I mean, we just say that India can be a good mediator. India said, India has the guts to say its friend, look right into Russia's eyes and, say that this is not the era of war. So India has the guts. But then that friend also has to pay heed to what the other friend is saying. If Prime Minister Modi is saying that this is not the era of war, did the war stop?
But I think over here, then Russia will also exercise strategic autonomy, and so with Ukraine, and they decide exactly how they want to, whether it's in their strategic interest or not.
Right. Yeah.
Right now, it is not in India's interest, so to say, to go all out, even if he's in Ukraine, all out and speak the language of the West, because you have China, a China factor that stares you in the eye, Anna. And for India, if India wishes to adopt strategic autonomy, India cannot ignore the fact that Russia, China are sitting together today. So we would not want to rile Russia. Not that Russia would be riled by this. I'm sure there's an understanding. I'm sure conversations have already happened that, well, I've done this, so I'll have to do this. Please try to understand. Like the calls went and said that, we've done this, but please try to understand. We'll continue taking oil, but with the West, these are our problems, and they were very glad that India stood by Russia. In fact, Russian economy would have been in a shambles if not for all the support from India and China.
Yeah.
So over here for India, China is a very big factor. So you would not want to go and alienate Russia at this point in time. Not that it's going to happen with this visit, because like I said, the conversations must have taken place that, I've done this, I need to go do this as well. Let's see when the visit takes place, because what we are given to understand is that it, in all likelihood, is going to be on the 23rd of August.